Y'all already know, Sarah Boone's transcripts were released with stuff we haven't heard. Oh, we're on it. Go ahead and buckle up.
Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey.
Yo, so let me tell you real quick just how I've been managing to save more time, more money, and more sanity when it comes to grocery shopping lately, okay? And it is thanks to Thrive Market. Now, if you're like me, if your brain's like me, if your life is like me, you've got like a million tabs open and going, okay? In your browser, in your head, everywhere. Now, between work, covering trials, editing content, and like honestly, let's be honest, you know me, forgetting what day it is half the time, okay? The last thing I want to do is wander around the grocery store reading labels, trying to find healthy stuff that actually fits my lifestyle. And that is why I'm loving Thrive Market. It's become like one of my go-to spots for stress-free grocery shopping that actually saves the money, okay? So they deliver affordable, recognizable, healthy groceries right to my door. And see, that's one of the things that I really loved about getting at Thrive is like this rice and beans, my staples, that type stuff. See, it's their Thrive Market, rice and beans. I go through this like rice. But it's delivered right to the door. It's doing good. It's great. I love it. It's Luke approved as well. And speaking of awesomeness, here's a feature that I use all the time. It's their buy it again button for like staples like this. It makes reordering my favorites super duper easy. That means I'm not digging through receipts. I'm not trying to find out what it was. I'm not scrolling through all that type of stuff to find out the name and whatnot of, you know, the O to the granola that I order is already there. Okay. And look, keep in mind that you can join Thrive Market today by going to thrivemarket.com/reportinglive. Look, you're going to get 30% off your first order and a free gift. But before you get all into it, let me tell you a little bit more about it. So with Thrive Gives initiative, every time someone signs up for a paid membership, they give a free membership to a family in need. We're talking teachers, we're talking veterans, low-income households, you name it, right? And they're the first online retailer to accept SNAP EBT. That's huge. Let's also not forget that orders over $49, those ship free. No tipping, no added fees, just wholesome, ethical, high quality groceries. They're delivered right to your door. So if you're trying to cut back on takeout, stock your pantry with meals that won't break the bank, or just like reclaim some of your time, Thrive Market, it's the move, okay? I found some amazing products I've never even seen in local stores. That's one thing that I really love about them, because you can do like their name brand like Thrive, but then you also get this really recognizable stuff that I see, and like I was already buying this stuff at the store, right? I absolutely love that. But except here, it comes cheaper most of the time, and it's helping other people. Also, you can check out the reviews from other members before you try something, which makes it perfect. I even got the pups, so you can probably hear in the background, a little something to help them get motivated with their training. Yes, good boy. They're loving it, and Bo gives it 2 paws up. And look, you too can join Thrive Market. You just got to go to thrivemarket.com/reportinglive. That's going to get you 30% off your first order, which is crazy good. But also, you're going to get a free gift in addition to that. It's an amazing deal. Give it a try. Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the sofa. Somewhere in that green screen, there's a sofa. Somewhere in front of it, there's a Paul. My name is Paul if you're new to the channel, and if you're not new to the channel, guess what? My name's still Paul. Now y'all, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about Sarah Boone. We're going to be going over some transcript stuff. They mostly come out at night. Mostly. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. So they released the transcripts from her trial. And the transcripts are the sidebars, all that kind of stuff. Y'all have told me about this. I finally was like, let me go look. And I started pulling from that and reading into it. And I was like, oh yeah, there's going to be character voices. There's going to be craziness. There's just going to be all sorts of stuff. Now, let me give you, or whomever is unfamiliar with the case, a very quick overview of who Sarah Boone is and how we arrived here. Now, like I said, today we're diving into Florida's most bizarre and unsettling murder cases. And that was the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone. This was a case that left investigators and the public asking one haunting question. How does someone end up zipped up inside a suitcase? Well, February 2020, Sarah Boone called 911 from her Winter Park home. She was claiming that she found her boyfriend, George Torres Jr., unresponsive inside a suitcase. Now, she would tell police that they'd been drinking, playing a game of hide and seek, coloring books, things like this, when something went terribly wrong. When detectives would review her phone, what they found was chilling. Video footage from Boone's own device showed George trapped inside the suitcase, pleading for help, while Boone could be heard taunting him, saying things like, that's what it feels like when you cheat on me. Terrible stuff. Now, the medical examiner ruled George's death a homicide caused by asphyxiation. Boone's arrested. She's charged with second-degree murder. Now, her story of a drunken game gone wrong didn't match the disturbing phone evidence. Sarah would then make her way through the court system, representing herself, and drag this out for years until she was finally found guilty and convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Now, like I said, recently they released these transcripts on the old myorangeclerk.com. Thank y'all very much. And in these, it was like almost 2,600 pages of just the transcript of the trial or whatever, right? And in those were the sidebars. So what I'm going to do is I pull them up, I'll put them on the screen, and I'm just going to be reading them. Now, some of them you'll see where I took it like the page before the sidebar, just to give you some context of this is what we're doing or whatever. So it will jump obviously from thing to thing because I've literally pulled the page and then gone from there. I'll be doing my voices, I'll be doing my reading, I'll be doing my things. Okay, so just bear with me. So go ahead, buckle up, and let's jump in. Okay, so let's start off with the first page here. I'm going to put it up on the screen now. Members of our jury, if you could raise your paddles if you recognize the name of any persons that have been introduced so far. Okay, juror number 27, 38, and 35. Juror number 27, who do you recognize? Veneer badge 102. Look, I don't know what she's called. Okay, but her. Okay, Sarah Boone. Juror number 35. Veneer badge 664. Sarah Boone. The court. Okay, and juror number 38. Veneer badge 819. Sarah Boone. The court. Okay, can the parties approach for a moment at the bench? The court. Do we want to go ahead and address those specific persons now? Mr. J. No. The court. Okay, the state, or defense? Mr. Henderson. Now? You mean now, Judge? You mean call them up individually? The court. Individually, correct. Mr. Henderson. I'm alright with doing that at this time, but if the state wants to wait. The court. Alright, we'll make a note and we'll circle back on them because they may have other conflicts. Okay, thank you both. Okay, go ahead and list those persons, please. Mr. J, may we approach? The court. Yes, sir. Mr. J, before he lists anybody from the state attorney's office, I would just like to object and point out that our protective order was granted. The court. Response? Mr. Owens. Well, now, depending on your order, should I even mention the names? I'm probably going to try to proffer that testimony outside the presence of the jury for preserving the record on the issue, but the court. Identify for me those custodians of records were. Was it the same ones identified in the state's motion? Mr. Owens. No, now in the state's motion, I listed Christina Mills, domestic violence supervisor, Aaron McCauley, director of victim services, Matt Storch, misdemeanor supervisor, Ibrahim Kazim Asa Lawton was the assistant state attorney. Mr. J, we object to the names being listed. It's confusing to the jury that people from the state attorney's office would be listed as a witness when they're not being called. The court, are those persons going to be called? Mr. Owens, wait now, remember, Judge, you had entered an order saying disallow their testimony. The court, but the state's motion pertained to the records custodians. It didn't identify specific people. Mr. J, no, it's about these people. They issued subpoenas for the head of our victim advocacy. They issued subpoenas for former and current prosecutors, and I objected based on fact and opinion work product. Mr. Owens, Judge, you'll remember we were attempting to get in the record that the state attorney has ultimate power. The court, I recall, Mr. Owens, to dismiss the case or not. And we believe one or more of those people are going to be able to establish that. Okay, boy? The court. Okay, all right. Well, look, give me a second here. I just want to go back and look at that. It was through a notice, was it not, Mr. J? Mr. J, I'm sorry? The court. It was through a notice, was it? It wasn't your motion and the mine? There it is, there. Okay, yes. There's the state's request for a protective order. So unless I'm missing something, and please forgive me if I am, the state's request for protective order filed September 30th identified custodian of records, Orange County, Office of the State Attorney, Domestic Violence Supervisor, Victim Advocate Supervisor, and Misdemeanor Supervisor. That's what your motion identified. It didn't give specific, Mr. J, because they didn't name those names yet. The court, okay, all right. That's why this is new to me, okay, Mr. J. And I didn't realize who Ibrahim Medine, or whatever his name was, he's a former ASA. The court, got it. Okay, so the order for the state's protective order pertained to those supervisors, not the specifically identified people. And it's your position it's because they were not known or subpoenaed yet by the defense. Mr. J. Yes. The court. Okay, got it. Anything further, sir? Mr. Owens. We just didn't know their names at that time, okay, boy? But we later learned from speaking to the state attorney's office the names, and so we listed them. My position is they've objected, and, well, the court has made a ruling. But for purposes of appeal outside of the presence of the jury, I'm gonna want to proffer that testimony, okay now? So based on that, I don't know whether you want me to go ahead and mention that they just might be witnesses or not, but I mean, look, boy, either way, okay? The court. Okay, so anything further, Mr. J? Mr. J. No, sir. The court. Well, due to the granting of the state's protective order, and if those are the specific persons that were contemplated, well, I'm seeing that you're in agreement with that, Mr. Orange. Yeah? The court. I'm going to agree with the state for those not to be read at this time. Mr. Owens. Judge, look, the remaining witnesses we have are, look, I don't even know who they will be, okay? Let's just be honest. Look, okay, look, but there's Advent Health, okay, there's the hospital records, the court, and what's your position with, to the custodian of records, Mr. J? I don't have a problem with them just saying custodian of records. I don't think we've ever received any medical records regarding George Torres yet. Mr. Owens, George, the court. Okay, Mr. J. So there's that Richardson discovery issue if they plan on introducing any medical records to the decedent. The court. Sure, Mr. J. Because we don't have them. The court. Okay, all right. Now look, go ahead, read the records custodians for those persons. And if there's an issue, a Richardson's issue that comes into play, we'll address that if and when we get there, okay? All right. Thank you all very much. Okay, the next one. Veneer badge 898. I'm a dental hygienist. The court. Okay, gotcha. That's right. I remember. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Can the parties approach for a moment here? The court. I haven't had the opportunity to cross-reference this first group of people who said they had conflicts to everyone else. So based on conflicts so far, I don't even know if I want to go into the information of everything else because we have so many people who can't serve. My druthers would be excuse them for a few moments. We can all compare our list and go from there because we have so many people that aren't able to serve over the next couple of weeks. I don't even want to go further into what the case is about because they're already not going to be able to be here. Mr. J? Mr. J. That makes sense. We should excuse everybody with scheduling issues now so they're not answering questions they don't need to answer. The court. Yeah, I agree. Mr. Owens or Mr. Henderson? Mr. Henderson. I agree, Judge. The court. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna excuse everybody, ask them not to discuss the case, there's still no case, and then we can all compare our notes and go from there, okay? Alright, look, hey, guess what? I appreciate you. Okay, the next one. After hearing the charge in this case and not knowing anything else or any other details or facts, do you have strong feelings that you could not be a fair and impartial juror? If you have those beliefs, please raise your paddles at this time. Okay, alright, so I have 28 and 33 and 35. Okay, can the parties approach? The court. Is Mr. Henderson going to be joining us? Mr. Owens. Yeah. The court. Alright, look, gentlemen, I have two more questions to ask pertaining to any religious beliefs or morality issues about being able to serve and any physical issues anyone may be having. Now at that point in time, I intend on removing everyone and bringing them in one at a time to address these persons who raise their hands with any knowledge. State, Mr. J, 28, 33, and 35 have already indicated that they have strong opinions, so I don't have any problem with cause. The court. Number 27 and 35 had previously. 28 was the feeling of it. Mr. J, could be. The court, correct. Mr. J, all right, I misunderstood your question. That's fine. The court, okay, so is that acceptable to everybody? Mr. J, yes. Mr. Owens, yeah boy, yeah boy. The court, all right, thank you all very much. Mr. Henderson, Judge? The court, yes sir. Mr. Henderson, can I ask for just 2 more questions as to the social media stuff? The court covered it, but there's 2 other areas. Either like to comment or share to comment. The court, I think that's all right. Fine. State? Mr. J, no problem. The court, okay, I can do that. Thank you. Okay, next one. Veneer badge 102. I don't. The court, all right, thank you. Can the parties approach? At the bench. The court, state? Mr. J, no motion from the state. The court, defense? We were just talking about calls at this time, correct? The court, correct, yes. Mr. Henderson, there's no cause motion. The court, okay, appreciate it. Thank you both. They're back in open court now. Now, as you'll see, a lot of these that we're going over, especially in the beginning or whatever, is they're clearly picking the jury out and whatnot, right? So some of these are a little bit like, interesting, or interesting to see the things that they're talking about, what's going on, like as to who they want to pick and whatnot. Okay, next one. The court. Madam Clerk has advised that juror in seat 39 wearing badge 413 has returned from the first floor. Do we want to go ahead and bring her in and address the same questions that I had of our panel previously? Or you just want to continue to go through who we know? Mr. J, I would say numerically so that they're not waiting longer than they need to. The court, sure. Okay, you know what? I agree with that. The next note that I have is for juror in seat number 33. That's badge number 943 entered. The court, juror in seat 33, well, good afternoon, sir. The court was just asking you some questions about some things you may have seen, and you advised that you were aware of the video of a person in the suitcase. You had some prior knowledge as to the case, and you were you had such feelings that you could not be such a fair and impartial juror after hearing the charge. Badge 943. Correct. The court, could you address all those things for me, sir, starting with your feelings about the charge? Badge 943. I just don't think I can do it, and I've seen it since it started. The court, when you say you've seen it since it started, I mean, what do you mean by all that? Badge 943. The news, and they had videos on YouTube. There's stuff I've seen. I don't know where it comes from, but I've seen it because I remember her face. The court, have you continued to watch or no? Follow the news in those? Badge 943. It's just last night it was on the news and about the hour selecting jurors for a case today. The court, have you been actively following it or just badge 943? No. The court, it's random when it happens to come on. Badge 943. When I'm on YouTube, I see stuff and I look at it. The court, have you watched any of those YouTube videos? Badge 943. Back when it first started. The court, and back when it first started, what do you mean by that? Badge 943. 21, 2020, something like that? The court, have you watched any videos currently? Badge 943. No. The court, alright, and you said that with those, you had those feelings where you could not be fair and impartial. Why? I mean, what are those feelings, sir? Badge 943. I can't explain, I just don't think I can do it. The court, okay, alright, well thank you, state. Mr. J, no follow-up, thank you. The court, defense? Mr. Henderson, no follow-up, Your Honor. I think we're all good over here, boy. The court, okay, can the parties approach? At the bench. The court, got it, thank you very much. Can the parties approach for a minute? At the bench. The court, now I'm going to be addressing the all-encompassing other. And then do we want to take a break to address any cause challenges before, like we did this morning, before we went into the information or knowledge about the case? Mr. J, yes and no. I mean, regarding the 2 people who just recently said they're diabetic, typically there's follow-up like, hey, I mean, you can get snacks and anything we can do to accommodate. So I don't know that just being diabetic is for cause. The court, do you want to inquire as to those persons? Mr. J, I would like the court to inquire. The court, yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem doing that. Sure. Okay, like anything else? And I have as diabetic was 28 and 40. Is that who you have? Mr. J, yes. The court, thank you very much. I'll follow up. In open court. The court, jurors number 28 and 40, you both advised the court that you were suffering from diabetes and or are diabetic. The court was in a position to make sure that you had snacks and had regular breaks. Juror number 28, would you still be able to participate? Badge 733, only because I use the insulin pump, I need to have my devices on at all times. And if my sugar goes up, that's going to be beeping and noisy. The court, okay, and well, I mean, if that happened and we were able to take a break and you were able to get that insulin level under control. Badge 733. I can try, yeah. The court. Okay, alright. Well, let me ask you a question about could try. Let me tell you, what if I told you you want a ticket to go anywhere in the world? Where would you go? Badge 733. Any place? The court. Pick a place. There's no wrong answer. Badge 733. Europe. The court. Okay, so a limo is going to come here in front of the Orange County Courthouse, pick you up, and take you right to the Orlando International Airport. You walk right to the plane, and it's just you, nobody else. You, staff, and captain. You meet the captain on the gangway, shake his hand, you go, hey, are we going to go to Europe safely? And he goes, we could. Are you getting on that plane? Well, badge 733 says no. And the court says, okay. So when you say could, it's a little squishy. You know what I mean? Badge 733. It's just because if my sugar drops too much, that can make me more than 15, half an hour to get, well, hold on, badge 733. It's just because if my sugar drops too much, that can take me more than 15, half an hour to get under control again. If that gets high, that can take me some time to get under control again. The court, okay, all right. Thank you, ma'am, I appreciate it. Okay, next juror with diabetic situation. And juror in C40, same question. If we were to be able to provide you those breaks and those snacks, would that help with the issue? Badge 424. No, I have autoimmune disease. The court. Alright, thank you. Lastly, juror in C15. Yes, sir. Badge 610. I am diabetic too and I have low sugar. The court. Same question, sir. If we took those regular breaks and you had access to snacks, would you be able to serve? 610. Badge 610. Probably. The court. Say again, sir. Badge 610. Probably. The court. Alright, thank you. The last is an all-encompassing other category. If there's anything that you would like to bring to my attention about your concerns over the schedule or ability to serve over the next couple of weeks, I know it's a big ask. I know it's a big sacrifice. Now's the time to go ahead and bring those to my attention. Now, if it's something we haven't already addressed, go ahead and raise those paddles. Get them up in the air now. Come on now. Wave them like you just don't care. Juror in C28, yes. Badge 733. My boyfriend is a former law enforcement officer. My dad too. The court. Okay, I think I saw that on your form and I had a note. We might get to that a little bit later, okay? Thank you very much. 48, badge 661. I don't have reliable transportation to get here all the time, really. We share one car in my family and there's 3 people. The court. Okay, thanks for letting me know that. 37, yes ma'am. Badge 622. I'm also on pretrial diversion. The court. Okay, thank you. 49, badge 677. I'm a supply consultant leading a large transformation with dozens of clients on my team. So I need to make sure that I get coverage if I'm going to be out for any amount of time. The court. Okay, so I'm going to make note to follow up with you regarding coverage for work, okay? Thank you, sir. 22, 23, and, 24. Juror in C23. 22. I'm sorry, yes, ma'am. Badge 106. I do know someone who works in the courthouse, but in Tampa. I mean, I don't know if this has any, the court. Totally different spot. Thank you. 23. Badge 33. I would just need to call to make sure I can get coverage for 3 weeks. The court. Okay. Badge 33. For my job. The court. Okay. Awesome. If you can make that. Badge 33. Yeah, I'll call my boss and ask him if somebody else can cover while I'm out. The court. Okay. We're going to be taking a break in the next couple of moments. If you would be so kind to do that, I would appreciate it. Badge 33. Okay, the court. I'll make note to follow up with you on that. Juror in C24. Badge 4718. I don't recall if I mentioned that this trip that I am taking is my primary source of business. So not only if I can't go with the money I spent on the trip, also there's a loss of the business I would get from that. The court. Understood. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Juror in C50. Badge 617. Same as 48. No reliable transportation. Because that's not right there. Some of that was open court, obviously, but I enjoyed kind of hearing that, selection process they were going through in the questions there, so I just kept going with it. Let's go to the next set of stuff. The court. Good morning. That concludes my hardship issues, so I think it's probably wise to release them. I can give them an instruction not to talk to anybody or to do any homework, then we can go through any causes at that point in time and pick up with the balance of the examination thereafter. Is that acceptable? Mr. J, yes. The court. Defense. Mr. Anderson, yeah. Mr. Owens, Judge, look, things come up during the case, but I noticed that several of the potential jurors were looking at the camera, and I think they may be concerned that they're being recorded or something. Okay, I don't know. Maybe something needs to be said. Hey, Hey, y'all, look, okay, there's a camera in the courtroom, okay, we get that. But jurors are not going to be identified or videotaped, okay, now? Something to give them, I don't know, some ease, maybe? Because that may be preventing them from saying something they ordinarily would because, hey, I might be videotaped. Now, understanding the court reporter is taking everything we say down. But I think yesterday what they were doing was I saw something last night where they were videotaping, okay? They didn't videotape the jurors, but the parties were being videotaped. Even the court was being videotaped, okay, boy? And then some of your questions were actually said in a video last night. Not any of the answers. I don't know whether that's appropriate, whether they can even publish questions that you were posed to the jurors. But that was going on, okay? Now, I don't know what your order says or what the circuit order says in terms of the court. The media is allowed to be here, so I'd have to go back and consult with admin order. But my knowledge is they're allowed to be here and provided everything. But they're not allowed to videotape any person of the juror. Mr. J has similar concerns. I mean, I don't like them pointing cameras at counsel table, which is basically what they have to do during this process. That camera is very high up with a step up in the jury box. So almost every trial I've done with cameras in these courtrooms, at some point, particularly since they started putting the defense side by the jury for inmate safety concerns, almost every case, the defense counsel has to raise a concern and say, look, they're videotaping our notes. They're videotaping our computer screens too. So I think that those are all valid concerns. You should make sure that they're following the administrative order and they shouldn't be panning to our tables. Mr. Owens, I agree with that. But in respect to the jurors, okay, I think they need to be, set at ease, okay, boy? I mean, hey, you're not being videotaped. You're a non-muss, okay? Nobody's ever going to... Now we're moving on to another one. So, the court. I don't believe there's supposed to be anyone in the second row on the right there, y'all. So I'm confused. Hang on a second, Mary. Because unless I'm missing something, 22 through 28, Mr. J. Third row, left. There's too many people. The court. I haven't gotten to the left yet. I was just looking at the right. We should have 2 in the first row on the right, no one in the second row on the right, 2 people in the third row on the right, and 4 people on the row. On the last row on the right, starting with 46. On the left side, we should have 3 people in the first row, 4 people in the second row, 2 people in the third row, and 3 people in the fourth. Mr. J, the woman in the third row, left, that's not even, I don't know who that is. The court, I don't know who it is either. Mr. J, I think we need to start asking for badge numbers. The court, okay, look, I'm gonna have Madam Clerk do a roll call. Is that acceptable? Mr. J, yes. The court, all right, everybody, good morning. You all give me a second. So I've got about 16,000 emails, so I'm just trying to find it. Give me a second. Here's the issue. We've got it for today, but we're number 2 for tomorrow in 23. Mr. J, might be able to get some for calls today. The court, possibly. So I'll leave it to you all's discretion. I don't have a problem reaching out to jury services. It's still available. It's not going to disappear. If you want to do it up there, that's fine. You want to keep it there, that's fine. They're all going to be in close proximity to each other. It's not like, it's a catharaliska. I can't say that word up there, but the fact of the matter is they're still going to be in a relatively close position to each other. So I'm amenable to whatever it is you all want to do. I'm here. Mr. Owens, I've got selfish reasons just because, I haven't seen 23, but other than that, the court, okay, it's about 4 times the depth. Mr. Owens, ceremonials tap. The court, yeah, it's about 4 times the depth, maybe 5 times the depth of this courtroom. The well space is twice as large. It's 2 or 3 stories, it's lofted ceilings, all that, ceremonial high-end stuff. I'll defer to you. Whatever you all want to do, I'm on board with it. Mr. Henderson, I'd rather stand here. Mr. Owens, Mr. Henderson would rather stay in here, everybody. Nanny boo-boo. Mr. J, I think we should do anything that we can do to lessen people dropping out next week. The court, well, the only other thought that I have is the person who is feeling ill will excuse them. 551 say, thank you, for letting us know you don't need to report. Those are the only sickness concerns that I've been advised of through jury services. Then we've got it in here. I don't know that 2 more people is going to pack us more like sardines any more than we will be up on the 23rd. So you tell me what you want to do. Mr. J, my suggestion is to space out people as much as possible to lessen the court. Okay, so here's what we can do. You all are going to get your stuff organized on the objections. So let's take a brief recess, go up to 23, take a look around. We'll be in recess for 15 minutes, and then we can come back and address it, because respectfully, you haven't seen it yet. The next one. The court, have you all had the opportunity to go check out the 23rd floor? Mr. Henderson, yes sir. The court, all right. What position, if any, do you have? Mr. Henderson, I like it up there. Mr. Owens, can we try the case up there? I mean, it's fancy. The court, I don't think so. I don't think we can. I would have to confer with the court admin, because I know he specified it for here for the next 2 weeks. I have no idea what the status of it being open. So here's the only wrinkle is, we're number 2 tomorrow. I know there were some big civil jury panels that were being impaneled this week. I have no idea if it's going to be open tomorrow, so we may only get it for this afternoon. I'll get with the court admin and jury services during lunch hour to see if, we might be able to trump number 1 and go from number 2 to number 1. But we may be back in here tomorrow morning. And as soon as I know that, I'll let you all know. Mr. J, I'll bet Florida State's football season will have a few for causes at the end of the day and we'll be all right. The court, that's probably a pretty safe bet, because they're probably going to lose to Duke on Friday for the first time ever. Dun dun dun. Mr. Henderson, excuse me, Your Honor. The court, yes sir. I went to law school at Florida State. The court, yes, that was my undergrad, so... Mr. J, my daughter's there right now. The court, it's a tough road ahead right now. Okay? All right. That clarifies that. I will get with jury services to let them know we're going to be up there, okay? I'll email Anita right now to let everybody know that we're going to be up there. Mary, do you have the exhibit list from Mr. Owens? Mr. Owens, it was emailed to the judge this morning. Okay, the provisional notice is being filed as we speak. The court, what was the email to me this morning? Mr. Owens, the 5th amended exhibit list, boy. The court, was it emailed to Ms. Brios? Mr. Owens, yes. It may have just been sent a few minutes ago. The court, okay, hang on. Oh, wait, here it is. I got it. There's a witness list. Mr. Owens, what do you want? The court, I need the exhibit list. That's just the witness list. I need the exhibit list. Mr. Owens, I've got one other issue, Judge. They're working on that. Okay, I got one other issue. You ready, boy? The court, yes, sir. Mr. Owens, Julie Harper emailed me this morning at 8:11, okay, and said her Bay County death penalty case just updated her, and they expect the defense will be between Monday and Wednesday of next week, okay. Now, I anticipate about when our case, do y'all have any idea when y'all's case is going to be? The court, the state said 2 days. Mr. J, we're thinking Monday morning would be like the cleanup for a couple of witnesses. Mr. Owens, all right. Okay, all right now. Okay, so anyway, look, number 1, she, of course, wants to listen in on Sarah Boone's testimony. Okay, so we may have to link that up so she can listen in or zoom in. And then 2, we're going to have to figure out a way. Bay County is Panama City, okay, which is probably about 5 hours away, I would say. Okay, so she could get down here as soon as she gets done up there, or come down here first and go up there. But we're going to have to work that out, okay? There's just no getting around that. The court. Okay, to the extent that she needs to listen, I'll have the link on. I think I've clarified the issue of persons appearing and not being muted. Mr. J, how's that going to work when digital evidence is being published? The court. I don't have access to, not every courtroom is teed up like Judge Madrigal's courtroom where I can live stream it as well. He has a button where he can, Mr. J. Well, I'm just saying, if we're using the system to publish evidence and go through evidence, can people still be linked to the background? The court. Yeah, it's 2 different systems. Mr. J, just making sure. The court, yeah, I mean, one is the meeting system and one is the digital presentation. They're 2 different systems. So that won't interfere with that at all. Just anyone who's observing virtually would not be able to observe. I don't have that capacity technology. Mr. J nods head. The court. Alright, so let me step out real quick to buzz Anita to reset us for the 23rd floor this afternoon. And I don't have, what was emailed to me, sir? Was the witness list? I need the exhibit list. Mr. Owen, the girls are working on it right now. Good Lord, settle down, Lord mercy. The court. Alright, let me step out real quick. Mr. Henderson, if I could ask one question. The court. Yes, sir. Mr. Henderson, did they go through a new random seating process for the people coming back this afternoon? The court, so my understanding from Madam Clerk, who spoke to jury services, is that panel 1 from yesterday will be in the first row, panel 2 second row, panel 3 third row, panel 4 fourth row. That's how it's going to be teed up. Mr. Henderson, okay. The court, okay, thank you. Mr. J, may we approach? The court, yes. The court, yes, sir. Mr. J, for call zone 20 before we start, I'm concerned of any potential answers she might give to a voir dire based on what she said. The court, that's on my notes. Mr. Henderson, well, what did I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. The court, her concerns when I addressed the criminal concept of sitting in judgment and how Jesus Christ can only judge. Any objection? Mr. Henderson, no objection. The court, so stipulate. Mr. Henderson, yeah. The court, all right. So, juror in seat 21, we're in badge knot 294, will be stricken for cause by way of stipulation. Any other challenges from the state at this time? Mr. J, no, sir. The court, any other challenges at this time? Mr. Anderson, Judge, just don't have enough information. I'm a little concerned of juror number 27, the one with the ex-husband who is currently, that's juror number 13, sir, the court says. Mr. Anderson, I have a little concern because I don't know if she's potentially the alleged victim in that case. The court, well, we can find that out. So I'm not seeing a cause basis at this point in time. I understand your concerns, and either the state or you can vet that out. But I'm not seeing a cause basis at this time. Mr. Henderson, I understand. The court, okay, anything else? Mr. J, I would just prefer that we offer them a break and not break up my voir dire. The court, all right, you want to go ahead and do that now and then we can politely excuse 20? Mr. J, yes. Veneer badge 235. Or take notes or write notes at the bench. The court, I don't want to steal your thunder. Yes, the practice is I do allow note taking, but I give the instruction that you can rely on your memory as opposed to notes, and don't be unduly influenced by the notes of another juror. So yes. Mr. J, thank you. The court, yes, sir. Mr. Owens, isn't that the standard? The court, yes, it's a standard instruction for note taking. Yes, sir. Mr. Henderson, one question. The court, yes, sir. Mr. Henderson, something close to that. How about questions because if someone asks of the jurors? The court, it's not a must. It's a may in criminal concepts. I don't plan on implanting that into their mind if they don't want to ask questions. Mr. J, are you talking about questions of the witness? The court, no. For the juror members to provide written questions, it's a shall in civil cases. It's a may in criminal cases. I don't plan on, Mr. Henderson, I never asked for it. The court, I don't plan on planting the seed for them to ask any questions. Mr. J, perfect. The court, okay, excellent. Thank you all. Mr. J, thank you, Judge. Okay, so y'all, that's like my first 40-some pages. I think it was like, I got through almost, I don't know, like 600 pages. Like that's extracting those things from it. So to me, what's interesting is hearing them talk up there, you know, because it's like memory lane, okay? Going back over this and hearing the back and forth. Remember, this is mostly just in like, you know, getting the jurors picked out and whatnot. So to hear how they go back and forth and the questions and the this and the that and the ba and all that goes into that, because remember, jury selection is one of, you know, a huge, if not one of the most important parts of this. Now, nobody has a crystal ball. You can't sit here and say what a juror's going to think or say or do or whatever, right? But also hearing them just interact with one another is so fascinating in some of the little moments, because I felt like when watching the trial, and now I think the judge did great. I think the state did great, and I think the defense did the best they possibly could with their client, right? But there was also this level, I think, where the state and the judge were just like, we just want to, get through this, right? And not that they're being unprofessional, but they've been run through the mud with this case, is what I'm getting at. So reading through these to me is just fascinating. It's like an insider look. Now, that being said, if you want me to keep doing this, just drop in the comments, let me know, and I'll make more of them. And I'll just kind of see like what kind of feedback I get, because I got a huge chunk of it. Was like, we'll test it out in the sofa, we'll see if this is of interest, because it's been a minute since we've gone over the Sarah Boone stuff. But she just keeps Sarah Boone, right? Anyways, I do appreciate you if you're still watching. If you are still watching, pretty please drop some little sofas off down in the comment section below for Rosco and Spirit, Bo and Lou, for myself and the rest of the sofa squad, so we have a place to sit, hang out, talk about this case, all the other cases we do talk about here at the Sofa Squad. And until we all meander on down there and do all that in the comment section, I'll see y'all soon. Thank you again to Thrive Market for making this video possible. Check out all their stuff. It's all down there in that description box below. thrivemarket.com/reportinglive. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Rosco on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.